Hey there.
Howdy.
Ooh, I'm
Oh,
so I had my headphones turned off. I think I should be able to hear you now. Could you?
is that better?
Nope. Oh no.
Oh no.
Thought I would. There we go. Sorry about
Nice.
that. Sorry. Hello, everybody. Nice to see you, Taylor. Everybody, welcome to another uh, Open Source Thursdays. Super excited to be here with all of you today. And Taylor, thank you so much for stopping by as always, and you know letting having us work with you on these projects is always a joy.
Yeah, it's super fun. Favorite part of my week, getting to sit down and actually code on some of our projects. So
Yeah. Yeah, we've got a whole bunch of stuff going on. Last week on Tuesday, Maxime and I sat down and did some coding for the shipment tracker that I was hoping to wrap up today. But I also realized folks, I want to thank you in the chat especially. Um you've all folks have started coming in and contributing to Distribute Aid, which has been Distribute
yeah,
Aid's lending site, as well as the other projects, unless I'm mistaken.
I think so. I'm not sure. That's the Shipment Tracker is Maxine's forte, and
Gotcha.
I'm in charge of the Lightning side. Yeah, we can take a look on GitHub though.
Yeah, totally. But folks have been coming in and contributing, and that's been super cool, and I'm super excited. And so, what I'd like to do is, Taylor, I've been owing you to wrap up one pull request. So I figured we could take a look at that first, and then also wrap up our pull request with the shipment tracker, if that sounds good to you.
Yeah, that sounds groovy. Let's make it happen.
Fantastic. Before you do that, I realized, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. What's been going on with you, Taylor? Anything you can share with us about
Yeah,
what's new with Distribute Aid?
it's been hectic. We are expecting to receive a large in-kind donation from um, ooh, maybe. Nope. I haven't asked corporate if I can mention their name yet. Anyways, of warehousing infrastructure. So that'll be very helpful for our efforts to support this Afghan relocation center, really optimizing the warehouses, getting shelves, boxes, things like that. And I can't tell folks how much like it helps having the right materials and the right infrastructure so that we can organize the items correctly and get them out the door when they're needed. Because otherwise, these warehouses are just piles of boxes all over the floor. It makes it very difficult to work in there and to fulfill orders. So that's cool.
No, nice.
Yeah, and otherwise, just supporting the different groups that are running activities. It's been great to see the kids walking around with the toys that we've been distributing and everything, and see ESL classes and legal classes and other kind of important things to be providing happening.
Wonderful.
So that's
Yeah,
just in the US. Yeah, lots more going on in Europe. The team over there is doing great. They're
that's
really
wonderful.
picking things up with me being here in the States. So very proud of them.
That's wonderful to hear. It's like I love getting these updates from you, Taylor. They keep me going, and they motivate me so much. So, folks, I'm gonna plug this as I always do. If you ever want to contribute to Distribute Aid, either financially or with code, I'm gonna link here their open collective. Every bit helps, so please do consider donating time or finances towards their endeavors. And it's a cool series of projects, and folks are super helpful and motivated. Huh? That was weird. Sorry,
What
I
was it?
just heard
Adjusting my
some.
volume.
Oh,
Oh man, so you can hear my output on my speaker.
oh,
That's
all
funny.
good, all good. No, just for a second, I thought somebody was going, and I was like, "Do I have a tab open?"
We got a
Anyway,
stream bomber in here.
I hope not. Um, yeah, right. So that's what's been going on. I'll go ahead and share my screen. I've got a couple of Git pods this time, one for the shipment tracker and another one for um, the landing site in case we need to do anything there. But yeah, let me go ahead and share my screen real quick, and we'll go straight into the GitHub and start doing some general cleanup. There we go. I hope everybody can see my screen. As always, if the size is too small, do please let us know. And let's get right into it because last time, yeah, we've gotten quite a few pull requests here.
Hmm.
In fact, I
Whoa.
oh, these are a lot of bot ones. I see.
Yeah, I recently added Renovate bot. Marcus suggested that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that keeps dependencies and other things in your code base up to date automatically. Although there are quite a few of those now. Um,
Okay.
is there a way to just mass accept PRs?
I don't know. Can we? I think, but I'm happy to do that later on. Like we don't have
Okay.
to. We don't have to. Like if we have time, we can go through them. But I think for today, it's going to be more interesting to go through. Yeah, go through
Yeah.
this here.
There we go.
Get this merged in so that we can get started because we were maybe a few months ago. We're looking at issue number 24, which was styling the shipment totals.
Hmm. So we're working on that, the region pages. So you could go see the list of all regions and then click on a region page and see the shipments and other relevant stats related to that region. And kind of got that list of shipments. Then we built the totals, like the cumulative stats, and then we were working on styling them.
Yeah. And I wonder, do we have a screenshot of how far we got on that? Because I don't know about you, but I can't really remember. Ah, here we go.
Well,
Next
that's where
up.
we have the code C data flows,
Yeah,
right? So that'll show us kind of where we last left off, and then we have some checkboxes there to guide us as well.
brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah. I think I made some decent progress here, but wanted to wrap things up. Yeah, exactly. Um, so my plan was the thing I would have proposed was to merge this in as is partially, and then maybe check a checkbox on the issue to say help is still needed,
Yeah,
if that makes
yeah, that
sense.
would be good
Yeah,
for sure.
sounds good. Let's do that then. But yeah, let's. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna. Ah, this is already running. Wonderful. Let's open that up real quick just to take a look at where things are at,
Hmm.
especially in conjunction with the code C recording, because we've got three here: the starting date,
Hmm.
totals calculations, and display totals.
Yeah,
And what
so I
we're
think display totals is the latest there.
yeah, so that would be here under where we work.
Hmm.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. I just realized I'm on the wrong branch.
Yeah. And it might make sense because there's been some drift. Like we have been merging stuff into Saga, and this PR was left for a little bit. Should we merge Saga into this PR or
Yeah,
rebase and then merge it back? I
I think
don't
that
think
makes
there'll
a
be
lot.
any conflicts, but just make sure everything's
I'm
running well together.
I am with you 100%. Let's do that.
Awesome. So for
It
folks in the audience, this is a great strategy. If you've been working on something on the side and there have been lots of other changes in the meantime, that could be you got a high volume like dev shop. Like the next day, your teammates have submitted 20 PRs that have gotten merged in. Or in our case, that's like, okay, it's been a month and we've had some other contributors through Hacktoberfest, and we just want to make sure everyone's code is playing nicely with each other,
Mhm.
rebasing the current kind of main branch, or in our case, the Saga branch, and we'll stack your changes on top of what's already there. So you can be confident that your code works well with what's going on. Um, yeah,
Yeah, exactly. And that sort of like it keeps the history clean and it sort of avoids trouble down the line in the future.
yeah.
For sure. So that would be a git rebase saga. So I'm going to rebase my branch onto saga.
Hmm.
Went smoothly.
Very smoothly, no conflicts at all. So that's great.
Now, how do you I'm curious, Taylor, what your strategy is for pushing because I got a really bad habit when I was younger of git push
Mm.
origin feature 24 and then force.
Right. But
But
since I have that branch checked out, then my local branch will be out of sync. So if I've made changes locally, that could cause issues. Maybe what we could do for something like this
yeah,
is that'd be really nice in GitHub or something, right? Because I'm thinking like we could create a new branch with like a slash rebase or something at the
mm,
end and then merge that one in. But then I think we lose the history that we've built up on our pull request.
yeah, we would.
Yeah.
But maybe that's not such a bad thing, Taylor, because we've got these. We would essentially close this pull request, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Open a new one and update, update the issue to have these parts here.
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah. I
think?
think that kind of makes sense to me. Yeah.
Cool. In that case, I will git checkout new branch feature 24 slash rebase. Sound good?
Sure.
We're kind of establishing a new, a new
A
workflow
new
here.
paradigm. Yeah.
Let's have a look. Cannot lock ref's heads feature shipment totals exists. What if I, instead of the slash, give it a dash?
Mm.
There we go.
That's interesting. So you're only allowed one slash in a branch name.
So it would seem, yeah. So git push origin feature. Yeah, looks good. Create a pull request for a feature by visiting remote. So we can open this link here. You want to create a pull request using the GitHub pull requests and issues extension? No, continue to github.com. Very nice, thank you. But let's do it all in one place. So here's a couple things we need to do, right? I'm going to copy over this. Now, if we mention issue 24, it's going to close it when we merge, right?
I'm not sure. I thought GitHub did something smart where it's like if you say resolves or something, this is more related to, right? We definitely want to link the issue to the PR, but we don't necessarily this PR doesn't completely resolve that issue.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So in that case, let's see what happens. I mean, worst case scenario, we'll have to reopen
Just
it.
reopen it. Yeah.
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 So let's, at the same time, I'm going to copy
Move that
these.
stuff back to the issue probably.
Yeah. So we show the totals, pull the totals out into a more stylized summary above the table to highlight our impact. Yeah, let's edit the issue first, I would say.
So you probably want to edit the comment there.
Can I edit your
Yep.
comment? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I like using those top level comments to provide that summary, right? Because that way, otherwise, you have to kind of really scroll down, especially in this case where we want to open this up for someone to continue working on this issue. They shouldn't have to read the entire history and everything. We just want to give them that one top level comment to get going.
Exactly. So update that comment. Slight number formatting. Possibly look at the browser region to format based on user locale. So show the totals. Yep, this is done. So I'll take that off. Oh, wait. First, I got to submit this pull request and request.
Wait. Let's have a think about this because we want to definitely link this back to the previous PR, right? Just so that we can maintain the link. So related to 24, was originally PR something, but we rebased to make sure there were no conflicts. Number 26 there.
Which we've rebased.
Yeah.
That's a good call. So one step at a time. First, we will close this one. This is the original one. I will leave a comment. Closed for rebase.
We might want to submit the other one first so we can get a PR number, and then we can say closed for rebase, see this. Yep.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, cool.
And can nope.
Oh, sorry, did I go too fast?
No, it's all good. I was going to suggest putting bullet points for our progress things there.
Say no more. My mistake.
No worries, no mistakes, just happy accidents, right? We're Bob Ross about our code.
I am all for that. Cool. Yeah, that's better.
Nice.
So take that PR number, closed for rebase, reopened as 65. Yeah, that looks good.
Yep, that looks great.
Close with comment.
Nice.
I will delete this branch as well.
Yeah.
I do like that functionality of deleting branches. It's super handy.
Mm-hmm. And that's actually something that I find myself doing a lot as a maintainer, is going back through the list of branches, and just trying to keep those clean. Because you'll look at some projects and it'll be like they have hundreds of branches, some of which are merged, some of which are ahead or behind by, ahead by one commit and behind by 100. And I think it just, at some point, is hard to keep track of, like, all the potential changes to your code.
Yeah, no, for sure. All right, so that's closed.
Cool.
Wait.
Let's go ahead and give it some labels.
Wait a minute. Did I close the wrong one? No, I mentioned this in another issue. Yeah. I'm very sorry.
That's okay.
I also noticed we probably need a better name for this pull request. Region, what do we call it here? Region page shipment totals and formatting.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think that looks good, right? Now, where did you suggest we go next?
On the right-hand side. So you've got me down as the reviewer, but we should add some labels here. So this is definitely an enhancement.
Mm-hmm.
And we can mark it as Hacktoberfest accepted if you want.
Thank you. Thank you. I did complete my Hacktoberfest challenge on the 14th. I'm happy to say. But always good to have some more.
Yeah. And I think that's it for now, for this one.
Excellent.
We can go back and adjust the issue here in a second.
Wonderful. Well, we can also see that. Oh yeah, I fixed this, but sorry, I didn't. Josh from CodeC fixed this for you. I think he submitted a PR. I don't know if it's merged.
I got that merged in for sure. And yeah, so for the audience, we were having issues when people forked the code base and then submitted a pull request from their forked branch. We didn't have the latest version of the CodeC architecture map integration, so that's now been updated. Thank you, Josh from CodeC.
Yes, thank you.
And you should have these nice diagrams if you fork our project and then submit a pull request from your fork.
Awesome. Yeah. Ooh, Liz is here. Good morning. Good to see you, Liz. Cool. So yes. So that needs to be reviewed, but we need to get to yay PR maps. Yeah. PR maps are awesome. And Josh very thankfully fixed them for the for the distributed landing page. Review maps are my fave. Yeah, they're the best. We've been Taylor, do you mind if I since we're here, do you want to see the improvements that have been made? Because they keep coming.
Yeah. Well, and we can look at the diffs like in the map, right? That's really cool.
Totally. Now, one of the things we added that I noticed was in order to make it like super clear, a tip will show up showing you that if you double click on a node, it'll show you that diff. It'll now show you who made that pull request and the link to the pull request. And the diffs have been expanded a little bit. So you'll see here, you can now mark them as reviewed. And the map legend.
Yeah. CodeC eaten GitHub, like.
I mean, what is it? Like it works really well. So it's something that we can totally use. And as Liz very correctly said, that sweet map legend does look pretty great. So the improvements keep coming in. I'm very excited about it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, should we do our review here then? Right, real quick. We can just get
Sure.
caught up on what we were changing, and after that, we can go do a Code C data flow recording. Make sure everything kind of works like we expected it to, where we left it off, and then I think we're good to go.
Awesome. Yeah, let's do it. So we got this changed to
Mm-hmm.
Tailwind.
Yep, and we just added even and odd modifiers, so that way we could select even or odd elements to apply a background color to on our shipments table. So that looks fine.
Awesome. I'm going to click that as reviewed. Next up is the region page. Wait. No way. I did not know you can add comments.
Oh, cool.
That's new. That's new. Okay. Sweet. That's very exciting. Like as soon as I saw that plus icon, it's like, no way. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted. So we've got our totals object. We've got our number formatting.
Mm-hmm.
We've got our constant that constructs this series of totals.
Mm-hmm.
I was just doing something very similar to this on exorcism today.
On exorcism.
Oh yeah. So, okay. Tiny tangent. I promise. Exorcism is an open source platform. Exorcism. For learning to code. It's a lot of fun.
Nice.
Like it's really cool because you've got it on the one hand that you can, do a whole bunch of exercises related to coding in a whole bunch of languages, some of which are so obscure I haven't, or let's say relatively obscure to me. So for things like, let me see, there's a couple like Groovy, never heard of Groovy. Julia I have heard of. Nim, Mips. Yeah, I don't know what a bunch of
I think
these
we had
are.
to use MIPS in college. That's like a
Oh yeah.
very low level. There's like assembly, and then there's MIPS, like one level above it. I
Oh
might be
wow.
thinking of the wrong thing, but yeah.
Yeah, and so they've got a bunch of really cool exercises. But what's really exciting about this platform that I really like is that you can also give feedback to folks' solutions to these exercises. This is, of course, everything voluntary, but like folks can be like, "Hey, I'd love some mentoring on this," and you can absolutely come in and give some feedback. It's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Sorry, I realize I can't just throw around the name exorcism without giving a little bit of context. Yeah. Right. So after constructing that object, we filled out the table.
Mm.
No, we didn't fill out the table. I'm sorry. We put in how many shipments we have.
Mm-hmm. And we styled the table.
We styled the table, and I believe, unless I'm mistaken, no, we did. We also added the totals
Mm-hmm.
as the
Yep.
second row.
Yep. At the top there.
Mm-hmm. And then for the rest, we added some padding and the styling for the background styling for even rows.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, and we see that on line 116 there, that even background color.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. That looks good. I think the only thing I can think of here really is refactoring some of this at some point. It might be nice to pull out the shipment totals, like given an array of shipments, right, or a list of shipments, can we calculate the totals and have that be more of a utility function so we can apply that to other places. That being said, we kind of wrote it to solve the problem on this page, so that might be better set up as another issue or something for someone to continue on with the issue. Yeah,
for sure. Let's do that then. Shall I leave a to do on it, Taylor? Like in the code, or do you think that's overkill?
I think if we just I'm trying to get better about not leaving to-dos in the code, because
Fair enough.
what I'm not worried about someone going in and seeing this page and like messing with the regions page. It's when someone else needs to calculate shipment totals and then does a totally different implementation on another part of the page, and they won't see this to-do unless they know to look for it here. Which is why I think if we create a quick issue around it, like,
Mhm.
hey, you can pull this out whenever you need to calculate shipment totals, pull this out into a utility, and then just use this, right? That might be the right next step. So we can set up a quick new issue.
Should we do that before or after merging, in your opinion? The reason I would argue for after is so that we can link to the line in the code.
Yeah, I agree. Let's do it
Yeah,
after merging. Yeah.
sounds good. So in that case, I guess we can mark this as reviewed.
Yeah. I kind of want
All
to
right.
play around. What happens if we do leave a comment? Like, let's leave that as a to-do for
Oh yeah,
ourselves
yeah,
as
yeah.
reviewers. And I just want to see how that works.
You know what, Taylor? Let's try something.
Okay.
Um, because this PR, I guess, is public. Want me to
Hopefully.
toss you the link and you try making that comment, and then we can see if it shows up for me?
Yeah, that sounds great.
I just gave it to you in the private chat. I don't know if this is gonna work.
We'll find out. Okay. So
Learning
I
as we go.
yep. Okay. Yep, I got it pulled up. So I'm going to go to the regions page here, and
I believe
right
how.
here,
Yeah, sorry, carry on.
totals. Um, at some point, we should factor this out into a utility function so that we can consistently calculate totals in wherever they are needed in the code base. All right.
You let me know when
And
it's sent.
saved. So I don't know what to expect now.
Let's find out. So, whoop, I closed it by accident. Which line did you put it on?
I put it on line 56.
Okay, so it's not there yet. I'm just gonna refresh real quick and see what happens. Huh. Maybe I need to do a hard refresh.
It's okay. Let me, I wonder if I can right click inspect and just check my networking tab to make sure it's not something messing with it.
Maybe that feature. Oh, hold on. Do I need to? No. It could be, Taylor, that this is work in progress.
Uh,
I
okay.
don't think
I
we've
just,
officially announced
yeah.
this feature yet.
Oh, you know what it might be actually? So
Hmm?
I inspected my network tab, and I'm getting a 401 malformed token error. Let me make sure that I'm logged into CodeC.
Mm,
That might be the issue here.
I love this. Learning as we go.
Yeah.
Hmm. But
Okay.
thanks for taking the time to figure this out.
Yeah. No, that would be good if you're looking at these maps publicly and want to leave a comment and you're not logged in, maybe prompting you to create a CodeC account through your GitHub account or something like that. Because I could see with our open source projects, lots of people might not have their CodeC accounts yet. We want to get them signed up. We love using the CodeC tools. But just that prompt of like, okay, here's the boundary where you can see and interact with the review maps, right? But to
Mm,
comment on them, you do need a CodeC account. Um, so let me just try logging in real quick. One sec.
for sure. Take your time. I'm just super curious to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, what I'm gonna do is, yeah, this is closed, so we can close that. And then I'm going to, as soon as we're done, I'm gonna start typing up that issue.
Okay.
So, extract totals per module. Let's see. This line. Series of shipments values. Lining isn't a word.
Oh, nice. It popped up, yo.
It did?
Yep. Check it out.
Oh, goodness. All right, let's have a look. I just did a refresh. There it is. Okay, so you got to be logged in. Good to
Nice.
know.
Yep. Yeah, and then just for the one feature request I get to make a day, if you're not logged in, maybe let people write the comment, but prompts them, and then let them write the comment to get set up on Coatsy.
Brilliant. Well put. Thanks for the feedback. Oh, maybe I'm not logged in. No, I am.
There we go. Yeah, it just takes a sec.
I wonder where it takes. Liz is already on it. Thank you, Liz.
Oh, and you know what's cool? If you go back to the GitHub page, that now shows backup in GitHub. I was wondering about that because I don't want, I want everything for the PR to be in one place. And then obviously click into the Codeseed tools to actually like do the review and everything like that. But I don't want information to be hidden where you have to click in and go to the right part of the maps to find these comments. And so, yeah.
That is wicked cool. I did not know about any of this. So wait, if I refresh there's my comment. Wow. Okay, keeping that
Nice.
synchronized between both GitHub and Codeseed
Yeah.
is
I was
pretty
telling
cool.
people how we're already like basically just using Codeseed to do these reviews. And I think with this feature set, like that really cinches the deal for me. There's no point in going to the GitHub diff tab anymore. You can see things in context and how the files relate to each other, which lets you step through the code in the right way. Yeah. So awesome.
Yeah.
Blizzard Applies is like, yep, it's all done calling through to GitHub stuff. And that's what I love about Codeseed. Like it integrates with the bits that we expect it to, but it significantly improves on the parts that are a bit harder to use.
That's brilliant. Awesome. So I guess we've got our review. Do you want to go ahead and approve and merge, or do you want to do that later on? And
Yeah, I do, but I just want to do one Codeseed data flow since it's been a while. I always do like to run through. And sometimes there's been data that's been changed, which could cause problems. So we should just give it one run here.
Sounds good. I'm just gonna do a quick yarn install. In fact, I wonder, is my Git pod up to date? I think so. Just checking if because you remember we made those changes to the development environment.
Yeah, but that should be because we rebased. You should be good. Yeah, because we made it a lot easier.
That was a great change.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, that's still installing. While we do that, I figure it would be a good idea to keep writing this issue here.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got on this line, I'm going to leave that blank, and then we're inlining. Inlining isn't a word, huh? But you know what I mean by inlining?
Yeah, where it's like, yeah, I know what you mean.
the page, the calculation of a series of shipments values. as a totals object. Let's object. It would be good to extract a module that accepts. Be a module or an yeah, I think a module is the right word.
Mhm.
That accepts these values and these shipments and returns that values object. That sound good?
Um, yeah, yeah, that sounds great. And then, like, what's the purpose of that? That's the only thing I would add. This would
Yeah.
allow any, kind of part of the code base that needs to calculate these values an easy way to do so. Or like this would allow a consistent way of calculating shipment totals across the code base or something.
Makes sense. By the way, Liz just added, you can click on where it says a few seconds ago, and that'll take you right to that comment on GitHub.
Oh, nice.
Which is super handy.
Nice.
Good to know. Okay, so this would allow consistent plays. I won't create it yet until we've merged. How's this going? Kind of multitasking here. I hope that's okay.
All good. I'm following along.
Okay. You let me know if I'm hopping around too much. So that's done. So we can run this. Just going to copy this URL. Tab. So we'll create a recording of the, was it Greece? It was Greece, right?
Yep, we were looking at Greece.
That's such a beautiful table. I really love it. Okay, so I'll start my recording in verbose mode. So for Greece, excellent.
There we go.
And from here we can write the purpose of this, which is DA landing, calculating shipment totals. Does that sound good?
Yeah, it sounds fine.
Make this public. Copy link and put this into our pull request. Latest recording. Good.
Yep, sounds good. Everything seems to work just fine. So now we have the kind of recording with that rebased code. And I can go ahead and get this merged in, right?
Yes.
Nice. Okay, review required. So I think I still have to go through GitHub for this part to do the review.
Aya, do you want to share your screen to do the review?
I mean, I'm just going to approve it quickly.
Okay.
Yeah. I was just noting, like, you can mark files as reviewed in Code C, but GitHub, with the settings we have where it wants us to like have a proper review for code, I have to go click the files change tab, review changes, and then approve. So it's pretty quick. It's just a little interface thing. I'm sure I'll be able to do that all through the Code C PR map soon. Great. And then squash and merge. Awesome. We got 3 different commits. So confirm, squash, and merge. Boom. There we go.
Wonderful.
And the branch is automatically deleted when we do that. So that's all good.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you for
Yep.
merging that. That means that we now have a latest code state. So what I'm going to do is right away hop into the region page and get that line number
Mm-hmm.
for the totals, line 56, and link that in this issue.
Mm-hmm.
We'll need some labels. Now, what are you thinking?
So we created a refactor label. This feels like a refactor
Nice.
here. Yeah.
Awesome.
Definitely help wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Hacktoberfest.
Gotta have Hacktoberfest, yeah.
Yep.
And I don't know. Would it be a good first issue?
Yeah, I think it could be, honestly.
I think so too.
You know, especially for someone who's a bit familiar with React projects already.
Yeah,
I see this being a great one for them because it's fairly straightforward with not tons of changes, especially not tons of context about distribute aid, right? This is a bit more code
exactly.
focused. Yeah. Cool. Okay.
Awesome. Let's submit that. And folks in the chat, please feel free to have at it.
Yeah.
We are.
Oh, one last idea. Should we just link that back to our pull request and maybe the original issue, originally done as part of like this issue and this pull request, just to keep that history alive?
Yeah. So we are linking the other ones to this issue, right?
Yeah, just editing that description there, previous work, like check this out.
Yes.
And maybe also copy our code C, our starting state there, right, for that code C recording we just did.
Let's see if I got this right. It was 66, right? Oh, that's our
Yep.
issue. Region page shipments, totals, and formatting. 26, 25, and as a way to resolve 24, which, if I'm not mistaken, isn't it showing me the fancy? I think it was 24.
Maybe we have to check on that issue. Maybe it automatically closed it when we mentioned it.
I hope not. No, there it is.
No.
It is 24.
Okay. Huh.
26 to 65 as a way to resolve number 24. C code C recording for latest state. And that from the pull request. Oops.
Nice. There we go.
I like it. It's thorough. Wonderful.
Cool. Okay, so we got progress on issue 24. We merged in your current work from 26 after rebasing it, and we found a opportunity to refactor the code base and got that up and running as an issue here.
Perfect.
Cool. I know you wanted to dive into. Oh, sorry, go for it.
No. I think that leaves us in a good state for other folks to be able to contribute. As said, people in the chat, or if you're watching this async, like, please feel free to comment here saying like, I'd love to work on this, and we'll assign you and mentor you where needed.
Yep.
You could even come on the show. Just saying.
And for 24, did we mark that as Hacktoberfest and Help Wanted at this point? That's the last thing I can think of.
Ooh. Good question. 24. No, it's just an enhancement. So we need Help Wanted. We want Hacktoberfest.
And Brilliant. Is this a good first issue?
Oh, we need to do this. This is done. Put the totals into a more stylized summary above the table to highlight our impact. This is done. Evaluate additional ways to display the totals. I need to unassign myself too, eh?
Yeah.
Unless I pick it up later on. But for now, it's sort of open. Evaluate additional ways to display the totals. See issue. Slight number formatting. Possibly look at browser region to format based on user locale. Yeah. I think this could be a good first issue. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's put it there. Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, because we have that Hacktoberfest, if we have that Hacktoberfest tag, the next time that somebody merges something into the OSS port, it'll show up as a Hacktoberfest issue.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah. So that's what we were up to. So I feel like we're in a good space now to sort of like change gears and take a look at what I've been doing with Maxime.
Yeah. Very
For
excited to
the
see it.
yeah. Let me close some stuff here and I'll show you what we've been up to. So we've got the Shipment Tracker, which is an issue, which was a project we were working on as part of our first episode of getting me onboarded onto new code bases. So Maxime very kindly set up and assigned me an issue and guided me through most of this issue here on the Shipment Tracker, which is Taylor, could I ask you to maybe give a bit of a background on the Shipment Tracker?
Totally. So the shipment tracker is really the first key module in what will become the distribute aid kind of grassroots humanitarian aid logistics platform. What we want to do is highlight shipments that are coming up that we've scheduled, or maybe that some of our partners have scheduled, to highlight opportunities for people to include their aid on those shipments. We have a pretty well-defined process at this point for how to go about that. So each shipment will have a starting region and a ending region, right? And groups can select the shipment they're interested. If they want to support, obviously if they're in the starting region, let's say the UK, they want to support aid groups in the ending region like France, they can select a shipment that's coming up on our schedule and then offer aid on that shipment. So that's the key first step here. What do you have available? Let's make the offers. They can choose receiving groups that they want to make the offers to, or they can leave it as open offers. And then we take those offers and we match them with the needs of the receiving groups. So the receiving groups always have an opportunity to say, yes, I really want this. I'll take this, but maybe it's not the top priority. Could we move it to a different shipment? Or no thanks, please, we don't need more of these items right now, or we can't distribute this type of item, or some other reason where they don't want it. And that way we ensure that people know about these shipments. It's easy for them to make these offers, but also we're protecting the frontline groups and only sending aid that is needed to them.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, so exactly. So what I did last week with Maxime was have a little bit of a look at how at this issue here to work on the UI. So this is going to be actually not too unfamiliar, Taylor, because we're doing some Tailwind here.
Nice.
And so they needed some attention. We recently abandoned Auth0. So we want to make sure the experience is smooth for our users. So we've got one more part we were working on. So we've added some links. Mobile styling is improved. Spacing between form fields is done. Capitalized first letter is done. Added gradient to make the background more interesting and modern. And here's the last part, which is having this button.
Nice.
So let me hop onto this is the Git pod for the landing site. And here's the Git pod for the shipment tracker. So this is the actual pod itself that Maxime and I were working on last week. So hopefully we can get this up and running. I keep forgetting that the pre-building stuff takes a bit, and I got to keep that. Yeah.
All good though. I mean, this is exciting stuff. Oh,
Yeah.
and there we go. All I have to do is say it's exciting, and good pod works.
Gitpod's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see if I remember everything. We've got a front end. Um, we've got a front end, folder here, which is where the code for the shipment tracker's front end lives. The back end is still work in progress. So we're focusing mainly on the front end side of it, which is its own app that runs by itself separately, which is nice because then I can just start it up essentially. I need to do is run, what script do we have here? Yarn start. I do not know what Krakow is. Oh, sorry, the size might be a little small. So that's starting up. So let that go. Oh, that's already started. Perfect. So we can take this URL. There we go. Awesome. So this is so this is the Shipment Tracker UI. The Shipment Tracker UI. And this is what we were working on. So almost everything is working. And here's our this is where we are. This is where we're at. So we've got our form here and we've got our passwords. Right? And this closes them.
Okay.
So we ran into one question, which is we've got this show password button, right? Should it show both passwords or just one? I kind of opted for having it show both, but I could be wrong.
I feel like both is helpful because if you're clicking that and you want to see both, that's because you maybe have mistyped it and you're not sure where the difference is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. V Prevails found out. Apparently, Krakow is create React app configuration override. Oh, we used a different one of those. It's called like React Rewired. Create React app rewired, something like that. Interesting. Thank you, V Prevails. Show path. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree because you want to have it for both. The problem is that, the problem is that when you, because it's a big button, first of all.
Yeah.
So I wonder where would it make sense to have it. The design. Let me just see if I've got it up here. Yeah, you saw the screenshot, right?
Right, and that makes sense if you're entering a single field to have it co-located with the field, maybe with a label over the I or something for accessibility purposes to like, what does this I button do? Yeah.
Good call. In fact, let me open up that. I need to bring up my code C map for this. So that I can remember where the code is. Where's the map of the code base? This is super handy. Like Maxime and I, it saved us quite a few times with Maxime last week.
Especially for like a much larger, more complicated project like the Shipment Tracker, where you do have the front end and back end components and shared modules and things like that.
Totally. So we've got the layouts. No, it's not the layouts. It's the pages. Yes, here we go. So we were looking at the register. We're looking at the register one, and that's where we will be looking at this form.
Yeah.
So register. Show yeah, there's our show password. Yeah, right now this is all very much inlined.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I believe, please tell me I'm right. No, I'm not right. We don't have an alt attribute, so I'll add that first.
Okay.
Wait. It's a button. Which
Yeah.
means
So
it's
do we
gonna
need to
have
use
a
like area dash label or one of the area tags? Let me
yeah.
take a look for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I keep forgetting how this works. Area label button HTML. I think we're good here.
Okay.
Is used to define a string that labels the current element. Use it in cases where a text label is not visible on the screen. Yeah, this is what we want.
Mm-hmm.
So a button would have an area label. Exactly.
Yep.
Thank you. So the button would say, but the button should show the state as well. So depending on the state of the button, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So show,
But
yeah.
I was just wondering, like, could the label be toggle password visibility, and then we could have something like you can use area hidden, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
or something like that inside. So we show the SVG, but we also show additional text content to indicate the state. And that would be kind of a semantic HTML way of doing it. I'm not sure if that's the right way versus changing the label, but I feel like
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a
the
good
button's
point.
like a toggle, right? That's like one thing. It turns it on
Yeah.
and off, but that should be captured as a toggle. And then the state is kind of like, we see it as like the eye or the eye with the line through, right, as a prompt there. And so changing the content in a text way using, you look at
Yeah.
area hidden.
No, you're totally right, and V prevails as agrees with us. It's such a good question because like I would have thought. I'll admit I'm not a. You show the state in the element you toggle. You show the state in the element you toggle because what I was thinking in terms of accessibility is, for somebody with a screen reader, right? They
Mm-hmm.
want to know what this button does, which is why I would argue for saying this button shows the password or this button hides the password.
Mm-hmm.
However, as you correctly said, this is a dynamic page. So you press a button, your screen reader is still highlighting that element. I don't know. It's a good point.
Yeah. So I'm looking here. I found a blog. Maybe I
Oh,
can put it
V
in the
prevails has
chat
one.
so you can link it to folks. So I'm going to put
Yeah,
it
yeah, please.
in the private chat and you can send it on over. But it looks like a problem with changing area label is that those changes are not announced by most screen reader browser combinations. So even if we did change that, unless the user goes back through, right, and kind of tabs back through that element, they won't realize there's a difference. It's not like communicated to them by the screen reader. So um, we can use area pressed. And so what that does is
Oh
that
yeah.
indicates the state. And we can toggle it from true to false. We can even style it in different ways. And so maybe what we could do is label it in such a way that indicates like if it's pressed, it's one state. If it's not, it's so like show password, right? And that might be false. Area pressed might be false. And then when you click the icon, then the area state would change to true. So show password, it's true. It's showing the password. Does that sound like a good way of doing this?
Yeah. Yeah. And just as you found that, like, same happened to like that V prevails found exactly the
Nice.
same thing you were talking about. So
Nice.
like I think you're both good on it. Yeah. Makes sense to me. Identifies the button, indicates the toggle button is not pressed. It indicates that the toggle button is pressed. I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. Oh, sorry, I didn't make it very big, did I? Yeah. So I think this makes a lot of sense. And that's exactly what you meant, right?
Yep, exactly. Good job, V
Cool.
prevails. Great minds
Yeah.
alike, right? Or at least Google alike. I don't know.
Yes, thank you both. So the aerial label will be toggle password visibility. No.
I think that should be more direct. That should just be like show password, right? Not even toggle, just like straight up show password. It's kind of
Oh yeah.
an action indicator. Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense. And then Arya pressed. And this is where we take the state, which is show password.
Hmm.
This is a React state.
Nice.
Mhm.
Right. So that'll be false initially, and then when we press it, it'll become true.
Indeed, we can try that out here. Button class, show password, Arya pressed false. It's not pressed right now, and now it's true.
Nice.
Excellent. The other thing
Perfect.
we need to do is Arya hide the icons, right?
Um,
We want to show them.
yeah, let me take a look at Arya hidden.
Thank you. I love learning this stuff. It's not.
Okay. So that hides purely decorative content such as icons or images, duplicated content, off-screen content. It should not be used on a focusable element.
Mhm. Since these are icons, we can safely put them Arya hidden as true.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Bookmarks, right?
Yep.
Cool. So if we go in there now, we can see the Arya hidden is true. Perfect. I don't know why something is broken. Oh, I guess I'm wrong. Open bracket expected. Huh. Why would open
Oh,
bracket
maybe you can't have like dash,
have a dash?
Aria dash hidden. No,
Oh,
that's fine. Because it's H. Yeah.
yeah, because it's fine here.
Yeah.
Arya dash hidden equals true. That's odd.
Oh, you know what? I think it's because they want you to do true, like a literal true in React, maybe instead of the
Yeah.
string true.
It's interesting that it's transpiler detects that.
Mm.
There we go.
Yep.
Nice. Cool. Thank you. Yeah, other than that, I think the goal would be then to figure out a good UI way to display
Mhm.
this.
So what are we looking at here? We want to tie that show password button. Like that's kind of more of a minor element on the form, right? It's not
Yeah.
really a key form element if you're just going through. And so right now it's kind of presented like it is because it's in line and the same size and everything as everything else. And then we kind of want to tie it to both password fields instead of just one. Do you think we could get some columns going here, right?
Mhm.
And have a 1 pixel right hand side border, which encompasses the right hand side of both of the password fields, and then do the show password on the other side of that. So it's like 2 columns. Here's the password bit. Here's the show password bit. And that on the password column, you have both of those fields together.
Makes sense. So we would move this up and then put these next to each other. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking here. We can just use some Flexbox columns and rows to just kind of co-locate them all on 2 lines instead of 3.
Brilliant. Will do. So let's start with the password. So they would go next to each other. We'd need a flex box. Box with a class name, which is flex, and it's a row.
Yep.
Sorry, excuse me for 1 second. I'm just going to close my door real quick. Cool. Sorry about that. So
No
we've
worries.
got, I think.
So we can do flex, and then we can do flex row if we want to explicitly make it a row. Yep.
So that's already an improvement.
And then we're going to want a second flex box for the 2 password things and make that a column, right? The row is going to be both passwords next to the toggle button, and then the password bit should still be stacked on top of each other.
So it would be 1 button per password. No.
No. What
Sorry.
It's okay. I'm trying to think of how I want to draw you a picture or something. Is there like a little crayon? So basically, we
drawing
keep the
tools
password stuff stacked, right? That would be like the left 3/4 of the screen, and then we would have the button. We don't have to make it too large. We can actually make it like a smaller square icon, and that could be vertically centered, so it's kind of next to both of the password bits, and it's obvious that it impacts both of them.
So if I understand correctly, sort of move the button up here between them. No.
Almost. So I want the pick a good password. That should be still on top of repeat your password. And then the button will go on the right-hand side of them, but kind of be centered or sized, or kind of, so it kind of shows that it's overlapping with both of them.
I gotcha fully now. Thank you. That makes a lot of sense to me. So we will have so on this, we will have a row which will contain another div with both password and repeat password on top of each other.
Yep.
And then here, we don't even need the show password label. We will have another div, which will be a flexbox and it'll be a column. No, it'll be a row that's justify center, I think.
Yeah.
So button.
Nice.
And another, no, that was wrong. This goes in. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. Cool.
We don't need a width full. And this will be flex justify center, I think. Okay, almost there. But that's kind of what you had in mind, right?
Yeah, definitely. Exactly. And so I think we can do a few things, right? We don't necessarily need our toggle button to grow or shrink, right? So we could have that have a set flex basis and just maybe
Yeah.
even give it an explicit height and a width, make it a square. And that will allow the password fields to expand over. We also can add a gap, right? We learned about having gutters when we were doing this for the shipment tracker
Yeah.
and some of the other things. So
Yeah, let's do that. So
um,
why is this stretching the full width? The full height, pardon me.
I think by default, so on that parent there, right? That
Yeah.
flex row, the default is to be flex stretch. And so what we might want to do is move that justify center up one level because I think it's stretching the div. Give me 1 second here.
Sure. I'll do the same. And I think, oh yeah, V prevails is already ahead of me. Understanding what you meant better than I did. Thank you.
Yeah, so I think we can move that justify center up to where the flex row is.
Okay, so up here, I'm just gonna try it.
Oh, nope.
No?
It's got to be the other one because that's now centering the content.
Yeah, that's not what you meant.
Yeah, no. So there's a line.
This one here, you mean? No. Oh,
No,
this
no.
one.
Instead of no. It was where it was, but instead of justify center, we
Yeah.
want to align center. I think item center is the name. Item center. Items dash
Gotcha.
center
If I could spell that.
with a dash. Yeah.
There we go.
There we go. And so then I don't think we need to make that div wrapping the toggle a flexbox. We just need to give it an explicit width and height, right? Like
This one here.
oh wait, I'm confused now. I gotta make this bigger. Um, yeah. So I'm thinking if we move the item center, what happens if we move the item center up to the flex row?
I remove this one here.
Yep. And I think we can even remove that flex there as well.
Yeah, you are right. Let's do that. So that would be up here. We'll make this items center and remove this and remove that div down here. Okay.
Sweet. Okay.
The next thing would be to mess with the flex grow, huh?
Mm-hmm. So
How do I do that? I always bring up my flex guide from CSS tricks.
yeah, I think we might want flex none on that button there.
Okay.
And that'll turn off grow or shrink. And we can pair that with setting an explicit width and height. So we know that the button always takes up this much space, and then the growth part is going to be for those other fields.
Sounds great. So let's see. Could it be that I can't assign a class to this? It could be that it's a TypeScript, its own TypeScript module, and
Yeah, maybe
So-
it's not forwarding that class parameter.
so maybe for now the best thing to do is to bring back that div, huh?
Mm-hmm. And at some point, I mean, that's a good separation of concerns. Sure, we could pass attributes into the button and customize those, but I mean, using a div for positioning stuff and then having the content be separate also kind of makes sense to me.
Yep, makes sense to me too. This would be flex grow, right?
I'm not sure if there is a flex grow.
I think there is because I just did it.
Okay.
It could be like I don't know if that's the right one to use, but check it out. If I click on, if I
Yep.
disable it, then it shrinks back down.
Oh, okay. No, I think you're right. That just sets flex grow to 1. I was looking at like flex dash auto or flex dash 1, which will also set the shrink property on it. Some of the other stuff.
Auto. Let's give that a try. So flex dash auto. What's going on? It's taking a little while to load, oddly enough.
We need to maybe just give it a refresh or something.
Yeah. I hope it's not my connection. Nope. At least we're still live, so that's a good sign. Oh, there we go.
There we go. Nice.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah. Flex 1 auto. Perfect.
Cool. And then on that button or our button wrapper now, should we give it like, what do you think? W
gamma,
dash
right?
4, H dash 4, set the width and the height for the icon.
Oh, but on the button itself, or
You know what? I'm not sure. Probably on the wrapper, right? Will that resize the button? Oh, and that's clearly too small. We're using different. What's the REM value?
oh yeah. For like if I make it 16, then it's 4 REM.
Mm-hmm.
But here, I think this is dynamic. Do we want to be setting the what? Do we want to be setting the height and width explicitly?
Maybe, or maybe doing it on the icon instead of on the wrapper, right? I'm just thinking like
Oh,
it
like
might
mobile.
not matter. I was just thinking if we could get like a square button with the icon centered.
I think. Let me take a look at the issue itself, just out of curiosity. Oh yeah, because it's a little narrower.
Yeah.
And I think in order to do that, what we can do is tweak these. Ah, look, there they are.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So if we make these 4, like you said, and I'll need to do the same for the untoggled one. Yeah, but that made the icon smaller.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'd almost much rather have the icon bigger. Like if we make those 8 or something. What did we use there?
I think we were using 5 before. So let's hop in here, I say, and change that here in line. Just experiment with it. Hey, how's that?
Nice. Yeah. It's looking pretty good. Yeah, there we go. That's nice and visible.
Cool.
And then it looks like there's padding on the button or something that's just slightly different. Like
What's the green mean? Ah, yes.
the padding. So it looks like it's 16 on the sides and only 8 on the top.
Where do
So
we
that's where it'd be
define?
nice to adjust those button padding.
Yeah, I think that might be a default on buttons.
Mm. I wonder if there's a way. Should we take a look at that button element real quick?
Let's
I want
do
to be
it.
mindful. We got like 5 minutes here.
Oh yeah, no stress. At least from my end, like
Okay, cool.
um. Well, look at this. We do have a class name prop.
Mm.
So default Oh my god, sorry. Excuse me.
So it looks like there's on the sizing there's that slim on line 63, right? So if it's not slim or if it is a slim
Mm.
button, maybe we want to do like a square option. Um,
Oh, add one here.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, how does that
I'd almost
work?
say like if sizing was an enum. Right now it's just a Boolean toggle of like, but if
Mm.
it was an enum of like square, normal, or slim or something like that.
Yeah.
That sounds like a bit much for today, and this isn't. I'm not the maintainer of this code base, so I don't want to go mess with things too much. I think we got a button. Let's get some gaps in there, right? We can
Yeah.
always mess with the
Sure.
sizing a bit. Yeah.
Sure. Sounds good. But no, this is super appreciated. Thank you. So we need gaps. Gap. These are gaps for grid and flexbox items, and we want a gap of what do we want?
Um,
Gap X.
so we could do like a gap dash x dash I don't know 4. We can try it and play around with the sizing. That's 1 REM.
Gap dash, and that would be up here. Gap dash X dash. I think it's 6, Taylor, because I think we've
Hmm.
done that. Yeah, here, space Y6 for
Nice. Yeah, let's keep the
consistency.
spacing consistent.
Yeah, that looks
Yeah.
good.
Okay. Right on. And
Why
then
did why
and
does
then
it look off center? Sorry.
no, you're totally right. That's probably because the text, like the password box portions, are what we would expect it to be centered on, but there's actually that label above, pick a good password. So it's kind of accounting for that label. So it just visually looks like it's off center, even though it's in center for all of the stuff.
I think it still works.
Yeah.
Sorry,
This is
I
the point
interrupted you.
where at some point we might need a designer to come in and help fine tune this experience, right?
For sure.
Um, that's looking good. I wonder should we add a gap between the password ones as well to keep that spacing consistent?
And I know exactly where to do it because we did that last week with Maxime. In fact, I'm highlighting it here. It's space Y6.
Nice.
That's here. There it is.
There we go.
And that makes that alignment already look better.
Yeah. Now, if we wanted to, we could go back and actually not do the align
Oh,
item center, but stretch it, right? And that way the eye would be kind of fill that right hand column. I'm not sure how I feel about that. That would be one option.
so let me see. You mean that should be width 5. My bad. So you mean having the button fill up the entire column?
Yeah. Like if we just take out that align like items dash center on our flexbox there.
What did I
Oh,
forget?
okay, but it's not going to stretch because it doesn't go. Okay, never mind. That sounds like a whole reconfiguring of things, which
That's odd. Why did it stretch before but not now?
because we also set flex none on it.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay. Okay. No, in that case, I mean, what we could do is just have it do H full.
yeah, we could try that.
Maybe H full is not it, huh? Oh, no, it is. Height 100.
Yeah, but I think that flex overrides some of the height properties
I
with
see.
percentages. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, maybe if we did like min height 100 or something, that might impact it. But I mean, I'm not sure. I don't think it's worth continuing
Okay,
poking
my
this
bad.
direction. The centering was fine. Um, yeah, we have
Okay.
our nice accessibility labels, and we learned about the how to show that toggle there. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
looks good. Let's start committing some stuff and I think wrapping up for today.
yeah, it sounds good.
Thank you for joining me on this, Taylor.
Oh, super cool to see this code base under the hood. Really
Yeah,
fun to do it.
for sure. So we did some stuff here. You know what? Instead of doing this, I'm going to try this fancy UI based one
Oh,
here. So we added this flex box. Did a flex none. We've added the area labels, the accessibility features, made the button a little taller, and that's about it.
sweet.
Yeah, let's. So that would be go style.
We do kind of aligned the password toggle button and added accessibility attributes.
Me. Oops, every time. Awesome. So I'm just going to push that over. Git push origin feature. And that should do it.
Nice. There we go.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
Whew. Good stuff done today. Thanks, Taylor.
Absolutely. Hey, thank you, Ramon. It's
Yeah.
great seeing you working across two different code bases now, doubling up with distributed.
Yeah. It's good fun.
Yeah. And of course, to everyone in our audience, we got some new issues up today. Feel free to jump in and comment that you're interested in jumping on one of those. Make a contribution to our code bases as Hacktoberfest wraps up. We got 10 days left here. Get those Hacktoberfest PRs in. So
Yeah, now's the time.
yeah,
And if you ever need any mentoring with any of those issues, please feel free to DM us. We're super happy to either us at CodeC or myself, and of course Taylor, if I may, say that they can DM you too, and we
totally.
can figure something out. To get that
Yeah,
onboarding going.
yeah, sounds great.
All right. Well, folks, thanks again for joining with our Open Source Thursdays, and Taylor, as always, thank you for coming along. And take care, everybody. See you next week.
My pleasure, Ramon. Peace out, y'all.
Bye, everybody.